This conference will now be recorded.
Now, so in the last session, we have discussed about the sandboxes. We have discussed various types of sandboxes available in Salesforce and the difference between each and every type of sandbox we have discussed practically in the last session. Now we'll see how can we create the sandboxes in Salesforce. We'll see. Generally, sandbox options are available only in the licensed editions. Generally, sandbox options are available only in the licensed editions. We don't have that option inside the free developer edition. In free developer edition, we don't have any option in order to create the sandboxes. Suppose, for example, when you go to your free developer edition, this is my free developer edition which we are using. When you go to the setup menu, in the left panel, you will be having the administrator menu, and we have build menu, we have deploy, and then we have monitor. Inside this deploy menu, we are having only two options are available. First one is deployment settings. The second one is deployment status. Only these two options are available. But in the licensed editions, along with these two, you will be getting three more options also. You will be getting three more options. First one is you will be having the option called as sandboxes. Second option is outbound changes. Third one, inbound changes. And then fourth one, as usual, deployment settings. Fifth one, deployment status. These are the five options will be available in the actual sandbox or the production. So when you go to that licensed edition, inside the production environment, you will be getting these five options. Sandboxes, that means the person who is having the admin credentials, those people can able to create the sandboxes and they can allocate the sandbox to a specific user also or to the developer also, whatever. And then you will be having the option of outbound change sets and inbound change sets. You will be having deployment settings option and the deployment status option. These are the five options will be available. But in free developer edition, you will be having only two options are available over here. That is the deployment settings. Second one is deployment status. Only these two options are available as part of this free developer edition. Remaining three options are not available. Now, then how can we create the sandbox? We don't have any paid edition. We don't have any licensed edition with us. Then how can we create this sandbox? For that one, I will give you one small clue that already told you in our initial classes of Salesforce. During the Salesforce account creation, already told you Salesforce is giving the two free editions. One is a 30 days trial account. Second one is a lifetime account or permanent account. Already told you during the initial classes of Salesforce that upon creating the Salesforce account, we are having two free editions are available. Okay, as part of free editions, Salesforce has given two free editions to you. First one is a 30 days trial account. Second one is a permanent account or lifetime account. We have created permanent account or the lifetime account we have created as part of our course. But now I would like to use that 30 days trial account. What are the 30 days trial account has been given by Salesforce? In that one, you will be having the option of creating the sandboxes. How many? Maximum of 10. Salesforce is providing 10 developer sandboxes over there in 30 days trial account, which can be accessible only for 30 days. Okay, so we can access that account only for 30 days. So once the 30 days are over, automatically those account will be getting expired so that the people can't log into that application. So in this case, in the 30 days trial account, you will be having the option to create 10 developer sandboxes. Now I am going to be using that option. I would like to create a 30 days trial account, and in that one, I would like to create the sandboxes. How to create the sandboxes, how to map the connection, we'll see practically today. Now, let's see that. In order to create the sandboxes, we are going to be using the 30 days trial account. We are going to be using the 30 days trial account. Now, so let's see how can we create a 30 days trial account, and from that one, how can we create the sandboxes. Now let's see practically what are the various options are available. Now let's see practically whether the sandbox is enabled or not. We'll see. Now, so let me log out from this permanent account. Now I want to create a 30 days trial account. So let's go to the Google, creating a 30 days trial account for Salesforce. Creating a 30 days trial account. Now, so this is the professional edition 30 days trial account. So this is the option, because this is the user interface which we have to use to create the 30 days trial account, which can be accessible maximum of the 30 days. Once the 30 days are over, automatically account will be getting expired. You can't log in into that application again. So in this case, how can we create a 30 days trial account? Now let's see. So now here in this case, it is a free trial account which can be accessible only for 30 days. So now in this case, you have to specify the first name and the last name. I'm indicating that. I'm indicating the first name as training, last name as batch 330, and then job title. So I'm going to be indicating that here. For example, you can able to specify any option over here. So now here I'm going to be indicating that job title like some manager. Okay, manager. Email ID. Specify the email ID to which your account activation link will be getting generated. Okay, so now to which email you want to send the account activation link, specify that email ID here. Specify the contact number and then company name. You can specify any company name, whatever you want. Number of employees, I'm selecting like some 20 employees. Country is some India, and then company language, nothing but which language you would like to prefer. I would like to go with that English. Now select the checkbox, I agree to the master subscription agreement. Now, so this is the 30 days trial account. It is indicating that start your 30 days of free trial of the world's leading CRM and see how it is easy to implement that functionalities. We can track the contacts and the managing the profiles also, pipelines, everything. And then they track every customer's interactions also. And then we can able to complete the view of every customer, that means 360-degree view of the customer also, business insights also, everything we can do. But here, let's see, this is the professional edition. Okay, this is the professional edition will be giving the Salesforce. Now tell me, in the professional edition, do we have any first.com platform concept? No, no first.com platform over there. Whatever the 30 days trial account is available, 30 days trial account is nothing but your professional edition giving by Salesforce to you for 30 days you can access, which can be accessible for 30 days only. But here we don't have the concept of Force.com platform. No Apex programming, no Visual Force, no development, nothing. Only configuration features. That already you know that. Because Force.com platform has been introduced from Enterprise Edition onwards. That means Enterprise Edition and the Unlimited Edition, in these two editions, you will be having Force.com platform features. Not in the Professional Edition, not in the Essential Edition. You know this concept initially. Just I'm reminding you, might be, okay, you may be forget about this information because we have discussed long ago. Now, so in this case, as part of this professional edition, you don't have the concept of Force.com platform, only configuration features will be available. The CRM functionalities will be available to you. Now, so in this case here, I'm going to be creating an account. Click on start my free trial. Click on start my free trial. So it is going to be creating a free account over there. It will create a free account. It is allocating that memory space. Directly it has been logged in. Now, let's go to your email account over there. Now, so now here in this case here, now, so now let's go to that your activation account link. No, this is the username which has been generated by Salesforce because we haven't given any username. This is the username has been given by Salesforce. This is my username. This is the username. And then click on verify account button. Specify the password and the confirm password. I'm giving the password as I've given the password and the confirm password. Select the security question and I'm giving the answer. Okay, specify the password and the confirm password. Don't access the features. Don't access the features. Once you submit the details, just directly go to that your email account. In that email, open that activation link and then specify the password and the confirm password and then security question and the answer. Click on change password button. Password has been reset for your account. Okay, password has been reset for your account. So this is it has allocated the memory space for in 8016 server. So now tell me, is it a professional edition or not? Yes, it's a professional edition. So now is it accessible for 30 days or not? Yes. How do we know it is indicating that 30 days left in trial? So whenever if one day has been passed, it will be indicating 29 days are left, 28 days are left, 27 days are left. Like that, it will be keep on reducing. That once it is reaching to zero, it automatically account will be getting locked. We can't access that account again. We can't log in into that account from there onwards. Okay. Now, so let me go back to that. Okay, let me go back to that classic edition. Switch it to Salesforce Classic. Switch it to Salesforce Classic. Now this is the classic mode of your Salesforce account. Now you will be having this option is available. It is a the TDS trial account. So directly we can indicate whether it is a permanent account or the TDS trial account. We can able to identify very easily here. So it is indicating that the 30 days remaining. That means here the 30 days are left. Once the 30 days are left, automatically account will be getting blocked. You can't access this account again. So now in this case here, so we will not just click on this setup menu. When you click on this setup menu, it is indicating these options to you here. When you go to the setup menu, here we have similar features. Okay, administer menu is available, build menu is available, deploy, monitor. So here inside this deploy menu, you will be having 5 options are available to you. Sandboxes, outbound chain sets, inbound chain sets, deployment settings, deployment status. These are the 5 options will be available. Okay, now. So now here in this case here, okay, now here in this case, so we are having the option of sandboxes over here. Sandboxes, outbound chain sets, inbound chain sets, deployment settings, and the deployment status. So today we'll see how to create the sandboxes, how to map the connections. Today we'll see. Tomorrow we'll see the deployments concept because once everybody is ready with the sandboxes, then we'll see the deployments concept here. Maybe people are facing so many problems today, okay, upon creating the account and creating the sandboxes. Now, so now here in this case here, so now this is a professional edition account which has been given by Salesforce, which for 30 days free. So when you go to this applications here, let's see, you will be having that sales application, service, marketing, charter, community. No site.com, no app launcher, nothing. All the features will not be available to you. Very limited features will be available as part of this 30 days trial account when compared with the unlimited account. Unlimited account means here that is lifetime account. So in this case, when you go to this one, okay, as part of development, we are going to be creating the Apex classes and everything. So now here observe this one. Here when you go to this develop, you don't have the option of Apex classes. You don't have the option of triggers. Okay, you don't have the option of Apex classes and the triggers, nothing. We can't implement these features. Development is not possible through this professional edition, because in professional edition you will be having the access of only configuration, not customization. No development concept, no Apex programming, no visual force, no triggers, no batch programming, nothing. Only configuration features. Because force.com platform has been introduced from enterprise edition onwards. Now, so now here in this case, I want to create the sandboxes right now. Yesterday we have discussed about the concept of sandboxes. So let's go to that deploy menu. When you click on this option sandboxes, that means, for example, if you are an administrator, you will be logging into the production account like this, and then you have to go to this sandbox. Whenever a new developer has been joined into the team, then we are going to be allocating the sandbox. Now, click on this sandboxes. Now we can see what type of sandboxes have been given by Salesforce, how many sandboxes have been given by Salesforce as part of this free edition. Now, so now here in this case, it is indicating clearly. So now here, these are the 4 types of sandboxes are available in Salesforce. Developer sandbox, developer pro, that is also called as configuration only. And then we have partial copy, we have full copy sandbox. So now as part of this professional edition that already told you, it will be giving 10 developer sandboxes. So this is providing 10 developer sandboxes are available. 0 in use, 10 available. Nothing but 10 sandboxes are available to you, 0 in use. Developer Pro, no sandboxes available here. Partial copy, no sandboxes, no free sandboxes. Full copy, no free sandboxes. Only developer sandboxes are available. How many? 10. Okay. Maximum of 10 sandboxes have been given by Salesforce, which are purely developer sandboxes. Then how can we create the sandboxes right now? Now let's see practically. Okay. How can we create this sandbox? Now let's see. Now, if you want to create the sandbox, then we are having an option called as new sandbox button. We have an option called as new sandbox button. So by using this button new sandbox, we can create the sandbox also. If you want to see the sandbox history, then click on sandbox history. We can able to see all the sandboxes which have created. Now, so now click on sandboxes. There is no sandboxes we have created. Sandboxes have been given by Salesforce, but we haven't created. That means we haven't allocated, we haven't used. So now I want to create a sandbox. So now click on, okay, new sandbox. Like for example, let me show you that yesterday's information. Yesterday, we have created the sandbox. So yesterday we have created the sandboxes over there. We have discussed about the sandbox environments. Now, so these are the sandbox environments yesterday we have discussed. So now I want to create a full copy sandbox. Okay, I want to use that state sandbox here. I want to create a UAT sandbox or the dev sandbox, whatever. If you want to create the sandbox, then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. I'm going to be creating the sandbox. So click on new sandbox button, specify the sandbox name and the description. Specify the sandbox name and the description over there. So now I would like to create the sandbox right now. So I'm giving the sandbox name like as Stagebox. I'm going to be creating the sandbox with the name, okay, Stagebox. Now, I would like to create a sandbox with the name Stagebox. You can give any name over here, whatever you want. I'm indicating this description. This is the stage environment. This is the stage environment. So now create from where, that already told you sandboxes should be always creating from production, not from sandbox. Sandbox to sandbox don't create. Create that sandbox from production. Now, so now from where you want to create the sandbox? I want to create the sandbox only from production. That means in this production, whatever the features are available, everything will be available to you. So that here, create from. So now you want to create from production. Here I would like to create the sandbox from production always. So now what type of sandbox you would like to create? I would like to create developer sandbox. So that here you will be having the option licenses in use 0 of 10. So now here we don't have any developer pro, we don't have partial copy, we don't have full copy sandboxes, 0 available. We are having only developer sandboxes are available up to maximum of 10. So now I would like to create a sandbox here. So now click on next button. Go to that developer sandbox here, give the sandbox name, stage box. I'm giving the name as stage box. I'm giving the name as stage box. So now click on next button. Once you click on next button, it will ask you to select any Apex class. You want me to execute any Apex class right now? No. Just you can click on create button. I don't want to run any Apex class right now. So just click on execute. Click on create button. It will be start creating the sandbox for you. So now it is in the queue right now. Okay, it is in the queue. It will take some time to create the sandbox. Okay, it will be taking some time to create the sandbox. So once the sandbox is available, then we can make it active by using this active button here. Here you will be getting an active link. So that to log in into that sandbox over there. To log in into the sandbox, you will be getting this option over here. Now, so now currently the sandbox creation will be in queue. Generally, when you go to the real-time implementation, upon creating the sandbox here, to create that sandbox, it will take some minimum 2 to 4 hours of time. Because in the production, whatever the features are available, everything it will copy automatically. Okay, whatever the features are there inside your production, because whatever the applications, objects, fields, features, Apex classes, Visual Force pages, everything is available. Everything will be copying into your sandbox. From there, you can continue to work over there. Not the records, not the data. Only the features will be getting copied. So in this case, like as a clone of your production, it will be creating a clone copy of your production. So now my sandbox creation is in queue. Salesforce is creating the sandbox, so it will take some time to activate the sandbox. It will indicate the progress also over here. We can able to see that. Okay, processing. So we can monitor the progress of the sandbox here. Once the sandbox has been created, for your email, you will be getting one email notification. Whatever the email ID we have given, okay, upon creating this account, for this email, you will be receiving one email notification. Sandbox is ready to use now. Sandbox has been created successfully. Sandbox has been activated. So please use this sandbox to implement the functionalities. So the sandbox is ready to use. Now, so in this case, sandbox creation is in progress right now. This is in processing state. It will take some time to create the sandbox.
So what is the use of Apex class?
Sorry?
Before screen we got run. If you want to run any Apex class, one screen is appeared.
Then,
That
so in
Apex
this case, inside your Salesforce account, if you want to test any Apex classes, then for that one we can go with that Apex class option. If you want to run any test classes, so that select that Apex class, and then we can able to make it run the test class also, so that whatever the code is available, we can able to test it once before getting into our sandbox. But I don't want to run any test classes here, so that I'm not selecting any Apex class directly. I have created the sandbox. Now, so now sandbox creation is in progress right now. This is indicating the processing. So now almost 40% of the sandbox creation has been done. Still 60% is remains. So once the sandbox has been done, it will be indicating that your sandbox is ready to use. You will be receiving one email notification automatically from Salesforce. Now I'm creating one more sandbox also. Click on new sandbox button. I'm creating another sandbox, like some dev box. Okay, dev box. For the development environment here. This is for development environment. This is for development environment. So I would like to use this dev box, which is for development environment. Now, so I'm creating one more sandbox, which is from production. Now already here. So the licenses in use 1 of 10. That means here 1 already in use. Out of 10, 1 already is in use. So now I'm using the second one. Click on next. Click on create. One more sandbox also will be in creation stage. So it is indicating totally 10 is available, 8 available right now, 2 in use. Okay. So now the sandbox creation is in queue right now. Now let's wait for a few minutes. It will be creating the sandbox for you.
Sir, these 10 sandboxes would be having same features, right?
Yes, same features. Because we are creating from the production right, everybody will be getting the same features over there.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
We are creating sandboxes from this professional edition. So we'll get the development features in the
No, no, no,
sandboxes.
no, 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 no. Because here I already told you, Salesforce is giving that professional edition. Sometime before, okay, Salesforce has given that enterprise edition, the TDS style account to you. There you will be getting the first platform also. But right now, the TDS style account is a professional, which is having only configuration features, no development platform at all. But when you go to the real-time environment, the customer client is going to be purchasing the edition of unlimited edition. So whenever they're creating the sandbox, you will be getting complete features of the Salesforce, including configuration, development, integration. Every feature will be available to you in that your sandbox. And so let me verify. As part of this sandbox stage box, for this sandbox, it is allocating the memory space in CS75 server. That already told you, sandboxes servers are always starting with the CS. If the server number is starting with the CS, that means it's a sandbox. That means it's a development environment. It's not production. So for this particular sandbox, memory has been allocated in CS75 server. Now, let me refresh this user interface again. Still my dev box is in queue, and then state box is in processing state. Now it will take some time to create the sandbox. Let's wait for 2 minutes. So it will be creating the sandbox for you. Now 50% of the sandbox has been created. Now, so let's wait for 2 minutes here, 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, so let's have a break for 5 minutes in the session. So by this time, it will be creating the sandboxes also. So that we'll see how to map the connection between the sandboxes. Whenever if you want to deploy the code from one sandbox to another sandbox, both should be connected. How to map the connection, we'll see. How can we verify whether these two are connected or not? How can we verify? And then we'll see how to map the connection also, we'll see practically as well. now. So now both the sandboxes has been created successfully. So both the sandboxes have been created and it has been activated successfully. There is the first sandbox, that is dev box. Second one is the stage box, which are developer sandboxes. Status has been completed. The memory has been allocated inside the CS75 server. And this is the idea of the organization, and this is the idea of this organization. So each and every sandbox is nothing but a virtual environment. It's a virtual environment which will be creating the Salesforce so that the developer people can develop the application and they can test it before moving to the production. So now in this case, suppose if you want to log in into this particular sandbox, how can we log in into this sandbox over here? Suppose if somebody wants to log in into the sandbox, say here's the sandbox. So how can we log in into the sandbox? Now let's see. Log in into the dev sandbox. So sorry, the state sandbox. Whenever if you want to log in into the state sandbox, then you will be having the option over here. How can we log in into that state sandbox? Now let's see. You can use this same username like as your production. You can use same username like as your production, and along with that, you have to specify a dot, and then you can specify that sandbox name like as state box. That's it. Okay. So this is the username you have to log into the sandbox and the production. So the password. Username will be your production URL dot production username dot stage box. Nothing but sandbox. And the password. Password will be your production password. Production organization password. So now here in this case, as part of this state sandbox, if we want to log in into the state sandbox, we have to use your production username, production login username dot sandbox name, and then your password will be production organization password. Like the similar way, if you want to log in into your dev sandbox, nothing but dev box, then username should be your production account username dot dev box. Okay, your production account username dot devbox, and then you have to specify that your production organization password. Same, we have to use same password here. For your production, for your sandbox, password will be same. Name. So now let's see here, how can we do this one? How can we log in into the sandbox? I would like to log in into the state sandbox, so I'm going to be using a separate browser. I'm using a separate browser. I would like to use that URL to log into the sandbox. What is the URL? https test.salesforce.com. Now, use the test.salesforce.com URL in order to log in into your sandbox. Now specify the username and then password. Click on login into the sandbox, and then you have to specify the verification code. So verification code will be sending to my email ID over here. Refresh your email. So let's see here. I have received the email notification. State box is ready to use. Dev box is ready to use. And then to log in into my sandbox, I'm using my username. So this is the verification code which I'm using to log in into my sandbox. Click on verify. So now we have logged into the sandbox over here. So this is my sandbox. It is indicating this is a sandbox environment which is starting with the server CS75. Then how do we know it is indicating this is a sandbox environment? Okay, it is indicating clearly this is a sandbox with the name Stagebox. Because you might be having multiple environments also, so that how can we identify which one is which sandbox, with whether it is a development sandbox or QA, or it may be production, so it may be UAT, it may be stage. How can we differentiate? For that one, it is indicating the sandbox name over here. Based on that, we can understand which is sandbox it is. Is it a stage? Is it a UAT? Is it a QA? Or is it a development, or what we can identify? So this is the sandbox name will be getting visible to you over here. Now, so in this case here, okay, now here in this case, now I want to verify whether the sandboxes are connected or not. So now, for example, this is the sandbox environment where we need to develop the application features, and once we're done with the development, we have to deploy to the production. Which one is production? This is my production. This is my production. I want to deploy the code. So now in this case, how can we deploy? For that one, whenever if you are going to be creating the sandbox, in that sandbox, we are going to be having that functionalities. We can develop some more additional features according to the business requirement, and we have to move it to the production. Whenever if you want to move the code from the sandbox to the production, mandatorily these should be connected. The thing, but these organizations should be connected organizations. They should be connected organization. We should have to map the connection between these two. Then only we can deploy the code. Or else without the connection, we can't deploy the code. Only the connected organizations can deploy the code over there. Then how can we map the connection between these two? From stage to production, I would like to move the code here. So that I would like to map the connection in one direction. Let's see how can we map the connections here. Connection mapping will be done by the administrator only. So let me go to my production. Let's go to the deployment settings section. Okay, now let's go to the deployment. Here it is indicating the various sandboxes and the connection between those. These sandboxes are connected or not by using deployment settings. Click on continue. It will be indicating what are the sandboxes and the productions are available. It will be indicating over here. Here we are having this. So state box is there, dev box is there. So these are not yet connected. It is indicating here. CS means what? This is my production. Okay, this is my production. This is the state box. So now stage to production is not yet connected. There is no connection mapping because it is indicating that red color, okay, red color symbol. So these are not connected. These are independent. I want to map the connection over here. Then how can we map the connection? Now let's see. So I want to develop the code inside my stage. From there, I want to deploy the code to my production. Then how can we map the connection over here? So click on this stage box and then click on this stage box right now. Click on edit button. Click on edit button. So now it is indicating that allow inbound changes from where. So now this is my production. Into this production, I want to allow the changes from sandbox, that is stage box. So select that checkbox, allow inbound changes. Okay, allow inbound changes. That means please allow the changes from stage to production. That means one direction. Okay, so now for that reason here we are going to mapping that connection. Click on save button. Now connection will be getting established. Now let's go to that deployment settings section. Now let's see. It is indicating that there is a connection has been mapped from stage to production. So it is indicating green color arrow symbol. So now we can able to deploy the code from stage box to production. This is how we have to map the connections. Okay, this is how we have to map the connections over here. So we can able to deploy the code from stage box to CIS, nothing but production. CS means my production over here. It is indicating CIS in the sense production. So stage box to production, we can able to deploy the code. This is how we have to map the connection. This is how we are going to mapping the connection between your sandbox and the productions also. Like that, the center process will be taken care by administrator people. Suppose if you are the senior guy in the team, if you are the lead person, okay, if you are the senior person in the team, then you have to take care of all these responsibilities. That's what here I'm giving this whole information. Generally, nobody will discuss all this concept. Simply, they will show you how to deploy the code. That's it. But creating the sandboxes are very, very important. Okay, now this is how we have to set up your environment for the deployment. How to do the deployment from the stage to production, we will see in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll see how can we deploy the code from the stage to production by using the deployment feature. We'll see practically tomorrow here. Tomorrow we'll be having the session. We'll see the deployment concept, how to deploy the code, so that we can complete. So this is sandboxes and the deployments concept. Okay, by that time you should be ready with this environment. Okay, by that time you should be ready with this environment. So please create that the TDS trial account and then create the 2 sandboxes inside that, and then map the connection between the sandbox to production. Then tomorrow I will show you how can we develop the features inside this stage box and how to deploy the code to the production. What are the various deployment ways are available. From that one, how to use this change sets option to deploy the code. We'll see practically, and we will see what exactly outbound change set, inbound change set. We'll see practically also over there. Okay. So now do the practice on this one today.